going on with y'all, man? If y'all clicked on this video, y'all also here to learn about what we are trying to learn about ourselves. If you don't already know some information, because we know a little bit, just a little bit.
Oh, yeah, I heard about it.
Heard about it from somebody from around the way, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. But we're going to be reacting to the final 10.5 hours of X.
Non-stop. I've been on the ground until the ball drop. Non-stop. I've been on the ground from January till the ball drop. And I'ma keep on hustling till the ball drop.
It's your boy Trey. It's NAG. I'm also here with my boy
Keith.
And we about to dive into this video.
Get into it.
Around 15 minutes after this surveillance footage was recorded, XXXTentacion was shot and killed right at the front of this very same motorcycle store.
Several gunshots, possibly a drive-by. Witness advised a black Dodge Journey. Shot somebody in a black BMW.
Located within this mentioned black Dodge Journey were 4 individuals: Michael Boatwright, Trayvon Newsom, Robert Allen, and Dedrick Williams, the last 2 having been seen on the surveillance footage next to XXXTentacion just moments before the tragedy. Why were these 2 shady-looking guys snooping around the motorcycle store in the minutes before his death? What was the motive behind the killing? Did the perpetrators know XXXTentacion personally? After being pronounced dead at 4.
So that's what I kind of know. I know that he went to the motorcycle store. I think it was a little live on it. I think he was live, and got into it with somebody on live, and then whatever, went to the motorcycle store. I don't know if that was the cause of that, but yeah. And then that's what I know. So if y'all know any more, drop it in the comments. Let's get back to it.
51 p.m. that very same afternoon, investigators would look over the prior 10.5 hours of Jazi Omfroy's life back to 6 a.m. that morning, at which point they discovered that his day started normally and that nothing was out of the ordinary. At 6:05 a.m. he'd begin the day.
Yeah, that shit happened in 2018.
No, sure, that shit was a minute ago.
Man, bro.
With a game of League of Legends, before logging off 22 minutes later at 6:27 a.m. Now, it's impossible to tell if he'd been playing the game all night or if he'd simply gotten up early to have a quick match before getting the day started, but either way, beginning his final day with video games didn't exactly seem unusual or indicate any awareness about the fate that was waiting for him that afternoon. However, X did seem to have a sneaking suspicion that he would eventually suffer a premature death. In an Instagram livestream from December.
Yeah, see, that live stream. I think that's what I was talking about.
Yeah,
but a lot of people, I mean, you can kind of feel like, I wouldn't say you're deaf, but I mean, at the same time, yeah, if you like really like into some shit. But it's like, have you ever walked in a room and just felt something was off or feel like something was gonna happen? You feel me?
Intuition type.
Yeah, like I feel like something gonna happen. It's not now or it might be later, but something like this shit feel off. Finna go up out of here. So I kind of feel like shit he should have hit. I mean, not he should have, but then they said that he had foreshadowed this shit. You feel me? So he kind of had that intuition that something, you know what I'm saying? Something might go down today.
December 2017, 6 months prior, XXXTentacion discussed both the possibility of death whilst outlining what he hoped his legacy might become when he did eventually die.
If I'm gonna die or ever be a sacrifice, I want to make sure that my life made at least 5 million kids happy, or they found some sort of answers or resolve in my life.
In the weeks and months that followed this Instagram livestream, X had both increased his security and vowed to never leave his house alone, which would be discussed by a friend and producer ZX Flow, who stated, "He did not travel alone. He never traveled alone. He knew that he has enemies, obviously. He would not go places alone. I know there were people who were very jealous and envious of him. He came from an area where not a lot of people make it out." XXXTentacion had grown up in Lord Hill, Florida, a suburban area which in 2014 was ranked as the 8th most dangerous small city in America. And if we...
Okay, I forgot that he was in Florida. I forgot that he grew up in Florida. And that's where he died at.
He died in the same city though?
But wasn't it in Florida though?
examine X's upbringing in the area, it's really no surprise that by his final day on Earth, he had certainly created some enemies.
A lot of it was like the hood. A lot of it was like.
So okay, you grew up in the hood. Wait, you're a fighter? You've been getting in a lot of fights?
Bro, I've been fighting since I was a kid.
What? He's always been throwing the hands, or what?
I mean, I've been there plenty situations, like plenty fights.
After growing up in somewhat of a rough environment, with his mother being a stripper and his father partly a drug dealer, fighting people became a regular part of XXXTentacion's life, almost like a hobby. He'd be enrolled in a school during elementary school, where he began to develop his love for music, yet would be kicked out after punching another band member in the middle of a public performance.
Like, I was in choir, ended up getting kicked out while we was literally doing a performance because he kept touching me when we were singing.
Being kicked out of educational institutions for fighting became somewhat of a trend in X's life. After the school choir event, he'd then be expelled from
So he hit his ass with the Denzel. Say, get your fucking ass up.
Hell no.
Margate Middle School after kicking another kid in the mouth, whilst also getting into a fight with a random person who had provoked him on the bus ride home. As a result of X's short fuse in the 8th grade, his mother would kick him out of home, at which point he'd go and live with his grandmother, who lived in a gated community reputable for drug dealing and gang violence, a place where XXXTentacion would come to find even more enemies. In this area, X came into the possession of a firearm and began to take part in armed robberies, ultimately resulting in his first 9-month stint in a Florida juvenile detention center. While locked up, X would meet another individual by the name of Stokely Cleavon Goldborn, who would later come.
So it seemed like, shit, he was better off with his OG.
I feel like he probably would have still run into the same shit though.
Yeah, but all he was doing with his OG was fighting.
But that shit, that come with age though. As you get older, but fighting and shooting.
But I'm saying though, when she said shit, motherfucker threw him to his grandma.
All right.
But his grandma lived in the hood.
Same shit.
So folks like, shit, I'm off the porch already. Because grandma, think about it. His granny probably was a little older. You know what I'm saying?
Bro. Not really attentive.
Yeah.
Bro.
You feel me? So he just headed his way.
Bro.
So he
I feel like he still would have been the same. He would have been led. I feel like the mama gave him up because she felt like she couldn't deal with it. And he was going to do the same shit either way.
I mean, could have not.
End up robbing somebody.
I mean, probably not. But what happened if he didn't and he ended up just finding something he wanted to do out
there? It was still one of the most dangerous cities.
It was. But all his life he did fight.
We met in jail.
Having come from the same county, X and Ski Mask decided that after leaving prison, they'd meet up to continue their life of crime together. However, after noticing that they both had a mutual interest in freestyle rapping, they would instead leave prison, purchase a Blue Snowball microphone, and enter a substantially safer business, music.
Yeah, we need an outlet to just stop getting in trouble. He ordered the stuff off of eBay. It was like a Snowball mic, Audacity, and like a laptop.
XXXTentacion would create his first ever song alongside Ski Mask titled News/Flock, then post it to SoundCloud after his release from prison, with his second song, Vice City, discussing this desire to leave his life of crime in the past. From this point onwards, X would become so serious about his music career that over 4 years later, on the final day of his life, creating music was still very much a daily habit. Because at around 8 AM, approximately an hour and a half after logging off League of Legends at 6:27 AM, X would work on the beat for a new song recorded 2 days prior titled Chase Glass Shards, which would, unbeknownst to him at the time, be the last piece of music he ever worked on. This would continue over the next 6 hours between 8 AM and 2 PM, in the process interacting with his girlfriend Genesis, who had become sick and was considering seeing a doctor. Without the knowledge that after that afternoon, he'd never see Genesis ever again, X had something else on his mind, buying a new motorbike. At 3:11 PM, X would FaceTime his mother for 2 minutes, asking if she'd accompany him to a motorcycle dealership in Deerfield Beach, to which she would say no, sparking an argument, resulting in her agreeing to instead go to the doctor with Genesis. Vowing to never leave the house alone, XXXTentacion would instead head to the dealership with his step-uncle, stopping by the Bank of America on the way over. X pulled up to the bank driving his $150,000 BMW i8, whilst wearing a gold chain and a $2,000 Louis Vuitton bag. He walked in calmly and withdrew $50,000 in cash, placing each and every $100 bill neatly into his Louis Vuitton bag, at which point he'd be noticed by the 4 previously mentioned suspects, Michael Boatwright, Trayvon Newsom, Robert Allen, and Dedrick Williams, establishing a potential motive for them.
And like, folks probably tried to do it so like, shit, let me go ahead and get up here, get this money real quick, gotta go buy this bike, you feel me? Not even really trying to flex, but low key flexing. You feel me?
No.
But it ain't like he thinking about it. He just trying to, you know what I'm saying? There's some daily shit. I'm finna go give me a new bike. Fuck it.
That shit crazy. It's crazy to me how I ain't even know like his girlfriend was sick on the same day.
And the same day he wanted to go.
Bro. Could have took his girl to the doctor and avoided that shit.
Bro. And got motorbike the next day or some shit.
That probably would have been living.
Bro. But things happen though, like you said. Just like how we were saying in the beginning, shit, if he would have never went with his grandma, he would have never found that music. You feel me? Like jumped off that porch with his grandma.
Nah, type shit.
He would have never went to jail. And then he would have never found, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then took that music, went to the music. So that's just the same thing as this. Like shit, if it's a bunch of ifs, you know what I'm saying? What a nigga should have did.
Killing.
And then even crazier though, because his mama even
50,000.
said, "No, I'm not going. I'm going to take your girl to the doctor."
Bro, and then that should have been like, I should go too. I'm going with y'all.
Bro.
Yeah,
that shit crazy.
Damn.
Life about choices, man.
But he wanted that new motorbike. It's just like, why
though?
though?
Got that bitch tomorrow.
Yeah, but
got that bitch next week.
I get it though. Because think about it though. When you got money and shit like that, bro. But I don't know. I still would have went to that hospital. But still, at the end of the day though,
I would have been at the hospital, bro.
At the end of the day though, because at the same time though, he got sick. And she just probably wanted to go to a checkup. You feel me?
Yeah.
So it was like, all right, cool.
She probably down with some light shit.
Yeah. Like, it was probably some light shit that he's like, man, just go get a checkup. You know what I'm saying? So, but then when he called his mama and she told him, no, I'm going with you. You know what I'm saying?
No.
All right, well, how serious is it? So that's what, you know what I'm saying? That would have played a part in that. But still, when you got money, nigga, you see that he signed a 10 million album deal prior to his death.
Yeah, that shit's crazy.
Folks out there like, man, nigga, I'm finna go buy me a motorbike. Folks out talking about, yeah, go get a checkup and come back and you tell me when I got my new motorbike. You feel me? That's probably what he was on. He was just moving how he moved.
Cash withdrawal, XXXTentacion had signed a deal for his third studio album worth a reported $10 million US. However, landing such a lucrative deal was no walk in the park. Continuing on from where we left off earlier, after releasing Vice City in 2014, rapping about his desire to leave his life of crime in the past, X continued to release music, yet failed to achieve any success in the beginning. Having no following whilst being fresh out of prison led X to take on a 9-to-5 day job, working as an over-the-phone electricity salesman.
I've only done one job and I was a sales broker because I knew how to run my mouth. Electricity salesman. Hello, my name is Jose Onfoy from Energy Solutions. How are you doing today?
Around a year and a half later, on the 30th of December 2015, XXXTentacion would drop one of his now most infamous songs titled Look At Me. The track would come to be known as a sleeper hit, laying dormant for over a year before exploding in early 2017. However, in the process, X began to build a cult following of incredibly loyal supporters for his unique sound and style.
And do y'all feel the way when they be like a cult following?
I don't think it's.
But it's just like a loyal fan, baby.
Yeah, like
motherfuckers that
I think it's
die
just a
about
description
this.
down there.
Nah, he need the motherfuckers that's gonna die about this shit. Real shit, don't shit. I need motherfuckers that's gonna die about energy. Where y'all at? Niggas ain't no niggas ain't up. Oh shit.
I wanted to ask you about him. Now he's still growing, and he's very young, and as every artist is growing. When he speaks, you can tell he's actually an intelligent individual. Sure. He's not a dumbass dude, and I think he actually has a message. So.
By early 2016, around 2 years after beginning his music career, he had achieved 18,500 followers on SoundCloud, yet had become one of the most highly requested rappers to be interviewed on Adam 22's No Jumper podcast.
Like, I have a cult fan base, I don't have like a weak ass fan base. Like,
you have a crazy ass following on social media and stuff, and like, it's not like necessarily the craziest like numbers, like 10,000 or whatever. Or how many are you on SoundCloud?
SoundCloud, I'm at 18.5.
Just the number of people who have asked me to interview you is insane. Like considering that you're like an underground artist. Like the number of tweets I had to read about you, man.
However, XXXTentacion was unable to stay out of trouble with the law, and only 3 months after the previously shown interview would be jailed once again for robbery and assault with a deadly weapon. After posting his bail set at $10,000, he'd be released. However, only 3 months after that, he'd be arrested once again after being accused of domestic violence against his girlfriend at the time. The interesting thing about rappers, however, is that criminal charges and prison sentences are often glorified by their fans and seem to do wonders for keeping them relevant. This is exactly what happened to XXXTentacion, as it would ironically be during this third stint in jail that his notoriety and music career would find its way into the mainstream. In January 2017, his song Look At Me, which had been released over 12 months prior, peaked at number 34 on the US Hot 100 Billboard.
That don't mean if y'all trying to become a rapper and nothing, go to jail and get it ain't don't work, man.
Not X, boy.
It ain't no
not young boy, boy.
It ain't no work like how you think it is. Yeah, some rappers, a lot of them go to jail, but they was going to jail before they even started rapping. So they ain't used to it. You would be just starting rapping, never been to jail, and then motherfucker come out, get a little jail just so you can blow up. And then what happened if you don't blow up? Now you fucked.
After X had been locked up for 2 months and was doing absolutely nothing to promote it, while many of his other songs began to trend alongside it. His newly found notoriety whilst in prison led to countless six-figure record label offers under the assumption that he was going to be even bigger after being released from prison. XXXTentacion ended up spending 6 months behind bars during this third stint and was released in April 2017 with more fame, more fans, and more enemies than ever. After receiving a deal worth an estimated $6 million for the production of his second studio album titled Question Mark, X would purchase a $1.4 million mansion in Parkland, Florida to house him, his girlfriend, and
before
his
the
mom.
third
In the space of 1 year and 3 months,
deal?
X had gone
It
from
was a
an
third
underground artist
deal. The first deal, I forgot how much the first deal was. But this for his second album. The second album was six.
He wasn't. This not just distro pay. Like
they said his second album.
I didn't know he was on the deal though.
He was on the deal.
Prison to a multi-million $1.4 million production of his enemies than ever. After receiving a deal worth an estimated $6 million for the production of his second studio album titled Question Mark, X would purchase a $1.4 million mansion in Parkland, Florida to house him, his girlfriend, and his mom. In the space of 1 year and 3 months, X had gone from an underground artist in prison to a multi-millionaire mainstream celebrity. However, while X had certainly built the fame and fortune, perhaps he didn't have enough time to build the high level of wisdom required to manage his high status position, bringing us back to the moment that he withdrew $50,000 cash on his very final day. The reasoning behind why X felt the need to carry such a large amount of money in physical $100 bills
bullshit.
Is anyone's best guess. Perhaps he knew the dealership would give him a better price if he paid with physical cash, or maybe he just wanted to feel like a baller walking around with the average American salary in his backpack. However, if X never made this withdrawal, the outcome
probably just wanted to clean, no paper trail. Well, paper trail, but you know what I'm saying? Like just
no transactions.
Yeah,
I know, straight cash, and they probably get it to you for a lower price.
Bro,
bring it straight cash, bro.
At the end of the day might have been incredibly different, because after leaving the bank, X would be followed by the 4 previously mentioned perpetrators to Riva Motorsports, all of which arriving at 3:30 p.m. approximately 10 minutes later. 2 of the alleged perpetrators, Robert Allen and Dedrick Williams, are seen walking right next to XXXTentacion whilst he looked at bikes, with the other 2 alleged perpetrators, Michael Boatwright and Trayvon Newsom, waiting outside in the black Dodge Journey. 25 minutes later, at 3:55 p.m., XXXTentacion would go to drive out of the motorcycle dealership before the Dodge Journey would block the exit, at which point 2 masked men jumped out of the car and demanded X's Louis Vuitton bag and gold chain. The thieves would successfully take both of these items after a bit of a struggle. However, even though the robbery was over, when X looked at one of the men directly in the eyes, he'd take 2 steps back and do the unthinkable.
Damn, he felt that dog in him. He seen that little.
He said he was from the attack.
On front of him, he seen
like
that.
He
like,
bull.
Hold on. Bro, he seen that shit. Just by that glance, he like, nah, folks gonna kill us.
Do some crazy
Yo, bro, fuck. Gotta get rid of his
that has really stunned fans of XXX
That's
that just
bogus.
a rising star here in South Florida. Fans began to gather here right after learning about the shooting that claimed his life. They just held a moment of silence, but they've been here listening to his music, praying, and lighting candles in his memory.
Disgustingly, in the hours after X's death, Dedrick Williams, one of the suspects, would record a video of himself happily dancing around with a bunch of $100 bills, also spending $800 on designer clothes at a Fort Lauderdale store the day after the killing. Similarly, police would find a $400 receipt for clothing and shoes in a garbage.
Niggas successfully. No, they didn't even successfully hit the lick. Because first of all, everything that you plan, that it was already on to it. You feel me? Like you was already outside, no mask, all this other shit in your personal car. You feel me? Doing all types of hits. Then you send 2 in while the other 2 stay back.
Which can at Michael Boatwright's house, purchased 13 days after X's death. However, while these complete and utter scumbags were living it up on their newly found unearned fortune, X's music career was having its own after-death explosion.
When he passed, bro, I went up 1 million followers.
General,
anything that had to do with him went up.
I mean, yeah, it's weird to see like his Instagram followers doubled when he passed. He went from like 7 to 14. Like it's just crazy to see how people react when somebody passes.
As mentioned in an article written by Hypebeast, sales of his first studio album 17 jumped up 9,000%, while his sophomore project released back in March saw a staggering 41,306% spike in less than 24 hours.
Would you say he had
his first studio album? He had a deal before then. He had a deal before that second one. So how much was that first one? Then because the second one was 6.
But what? That wasn't his. Was that his first album though? 17.
Yeah. Bro, his first studio album, 17, jumping up 9%, 9,000%. I thought that's 9. This clear crazy.
Yeah.
Bro.
Hours after his
that shit crazy
death.
though.
Similarly, his average monthly.
Would you say that this nigga had the most what they call it when the album like post most.
I thought it was post.
What the fuck is that shit
bro,
called?
we all fucking know.
Post album. Let's just look at post album. Posthumous. How the fuck you pronounce that shit?
Let me see.
Posthumously.
No, bro. Posthumous.
Posthumous.
Right. This nigga post the Mosley. You saying post the Mosley like it's 2 T's. Bro. Tripping. I'm like, where the fuck the extra T come from? I'm like, huh?
Posthumous.
Bro.
You think he had the biggest posthumous?
Probably him or Juice.
Oh, bro.
One of the two.
What about Pac?
Tupac. No, because
right after his death.
Because his era kind of wasn't like all that.
Nigga, that shit was
no,
all that.
No, I'm saying like digital wise and so forth like that.
Like
as
saying,
much as it is
nowadays.
You feel me? Like it was more internet and all.
Yeah.
Like able to reach out a little more.
Yeah.
Like don't get me wrong, when people seen you, they seen you on TV and shit like that. But
It wasn't like how it's easy to go viral.
Yeah, bro. That's how I kind of figure. Like his shit might have been crazy though. Like in terms of like sales and you know what I'm saying.
What about Mike Jack? No,
I don't know. I don't know, folks. The difference between when he died and when he is alive, probably 2 different careers. Like, come on, bro.
I don't really know shit.
YouTube music viewership jumped from 150 million per month to 400 million per month following his death, giving him a permanent increase in the value of his music as an offset to his passing. It was kind of like karma, a superstition that X certainly believed in.
I believe in past lives and future lives. I believe in the karmic cycle. I believe until you align the karmic cycle, nothing else matters.
However, by the same token, after X had been to prison twice for armed robbery himself, perhaps his own death during an armed robbery was, as he put it, the karmic cycle realigning itself. However, no matter how poor X's prior decisions might have been, they weren't nearly as stupid as those involved in the killing. With bullet casings at the scene of the crime matching guns owned by the perpetrators, and evidence as obvious as Dedrick Williams purchasing a neoprene mask from the motorcycle.
Hey, that nigga was a pussy. He was dead. He was scared. Talking about he looked him in his eyes and just knew. Yeah, you seen the killer, nigga. That's what happened. You knew you robbed the wrong one, for you. Like, gee, if we don't kill this nigga, he gonna come kill us. He gonna come kill us.
You know, he gonna remember my eyes.
He gonna remember my eyes, G. I looked him dead in it, so.
Well, that's gotta be some pussy
spooked
shit.
His ass, bro.
Gotta be scared as hell.
You gotta be scared, bro. He looked at me wrong. Like, what, nigga? Come on, bro. We already got the money. You should just take off.
That's all they had to do.
Each of the 4 men were arrested one by one in the 2 months that followed the tragic event. The perpetrators would have their fingerprints taken and would each face a pre-examination. However,
And think about it. They would have took off. He probably wouldn't even called the police. He probably, I'm looking for him myself. You feel me? All right, cool. All right, you go take that chance to look for me while I'm going to have a ball. You feel me? But dumb niggas like to flaunt on Instagram and all this other shit.
I wonder if it was. Did they say that these niggas was somebody that he knew? Any of them niggas? One of them.
Nah, I don't think he said they knew him. I think they just spotted him. Walked in that bitch, gold chain, Louis bag, you feel me? His car, and they watched him walk in the bank and shit. They like, all right, cool, shit. That look like that nigga got some money. He got lit, you feel me? All right, cool, let's just follow him, see where he gonna go. And they seen where he was gonna go 10 minutes in, and they probably was sitting in the car plotting like, how the fuck we gonna get him? What we gonna do? Somebody was in that bitch like, y'all better hurry up and go get him because he probably was gonna spend that money. You feel me? Then niggas like, all right, 2 go in. We gonna stay out here. We gonna go do. Y'all see what he doing? Y'all let us know, and we gonna get him on the outside. You feel me? That's what happened. 2 niggas coming up. Them 2, the one nigga and one scary nigga go get in there. You know what I'm saying? Give me everything. Folks got everything. Scary nigga say, oh, he scared me. Like, that's weak as hell, for. Weak as hell.
Years later, the men are still yet to face trial and have therefore received no charges. However, this hasn't stopped XXXTentacion's father, Dwayne Onfroy, from expressing what he hopes might happen to the perpetrators. Y'all killed that young man, that father, that son, that brother, without a cause. I say this, no malice in my heart. I'm seeking life without parole for the participants in the robbery and cold-blooded murder of my son, and the man who pulled the trigger. I'm going to seek the death penalty.
Oh, bro, he needs to get his ass. No. Scary nigga. But that was a good little video, man. It sucks that they had to go in here and do that to that man because he wasn't really doing nothing. He just wanted to go buy a bike. But like we said in the video, damn, wish he just would have went to the little hospital and bought a bike another time. You feel me? But thank y'all for watching this video, tuning in, man. RPX, man. Yeah, man. Happy birthday, man.
NAG be the team and ain't no runner. Don't pay it back to life, pussy nigga ain't no running.